Hi everyone, it's Justine and I'm super excited to bring you a card tutorial featuring products from the Ton Stamps. I'm also giving away a $25 gift certificate to the Ton Stamps sponsored by Effie from the Ton, and thank you so much Effie for sponsoring this giveaway today. All the details will be on my blog, which is listed below in the details. So to get started with this card, I'm grabbing a piece of cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4 and I'm inking up this really gorgeous background stamp from the Ton Stamps. You can see I've left 2 squares of grid on the side and on the bottom so I know where to put my cardstock each time, because unfortunately I can't use a magnet because my paper is a lot smaller than my stamp and it would get in the way. So by leaving 2 grid squares on the left and on the bottom, I was able to just put it back into place in case it moved. So I'm just going in and just making sure those really solid flowers are completely blackened, and that's what I love about the Misty. I can stamp over and over again if I need to. It really stamped fine the first time, but I really like super dark bold impressions, and the Misty spoiled me and let me do this every time, so now I just can't stop. Okay, so now that I'm all finished that, I'm going to grab a piece of vellum and I'm going to end up die cutting it and then stamping it. So I'm going to die cut it using the stitch dies from My Favorite Things. I'm just going to run that through my Big Shot and then now it's the perfect size. So I'm going to add my sentiment onto the card as well as some flowers for decoration. So I'm attaching this with my bar magnet because the bar magnet actually keeps everything in place and it doesn't lift up when I have sticky stamps, which is really important for me. I'm using an embossing buddy to go over my vellum so that no stray embossing powder actually sticks onto it where it shouldn't. I'm putting the bar magnet here in the middle because I'm going to actually keep this as a separation between my sentiment and my flowers. So I'm grabbing this wild peony stamp here and I'm going to be stamping that in the middle, and I'm also going to be stamping one off to the left and the right afterwards. The sentiment says you are brave, fearless, bold, strong, and I absolutely love encouragement cards, so I like to send these out and that's why I keep making them. This is definitely one of my favorite sentiment stamp sets. And then I'm going to add a couple of the peonies here on the left and the right because I wanted to stamp them on the side, but they were going to get in the way when I stamped the middle one. I don't mind that they overlap at all. I'm just going to add some white embossing powder from Ranger. This is super fine embossing powder. And then I'm going to use my heat gun in order to heat emboss this. Now I recently purchased a heat gun from, this is the Hero Arts one from Wagner, and it's honestly the greatest heat gun ever. It just melts everything in a couple of seconds, hardly any warping of paper. It's amazing. I've used many kinds of brands before, and this one definitely is the cherry on top of the cake. So I'm going to grab some 3D foam tape in clear. I thought this might actually work to attach my vellum. However, you could still see it, unfortunately, when I attached it onto a piece of black cardstock. I attached it to a piece of black cardstock because you wouldn't be able to see my sentiment if I had attached it straight onto the background. I tried some colors and things like that too, so you could add a pop of color here, but I didn't like the way that it looked. So once that's stuck on there, I realized that you could actually still see the adhesive, so what I decided to do was attach it to my card and add some Nuvo drops in the 4 corners. I think I could have got away with the bottom ones, however, I wanted everything to be symmetrical, so I added the white Nuvo drops in all 4 corners for an added touch. Don't forget you should attach your card to a card panel before doing this step, or else you have to wait then for your card to dry before putting it onto a card base because you don't want to risk accidentally smearing the Nuvo. It takes about 20 minutes to dry, and it takes about a day to dry completely if you don't want them to flatten at all, so if you want them to keep their overall shape. I debated between white and black cardstock, and I decided that the white was more bright and fun, so I decided to keep it on the white. I hope you enjoyed today's card tutorial. Don't forget to check out my giveaway from the Ton Stamps, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you're interested at all in subscribing to my YouTube channel, you can click on the subscribe button below, or you can click on my face. I also have a blog with my complete supply list with pictures, or you can check out 2 videos below. One of them features 5 ways to use your background stamps, and another one is a ton feature. Thank you so much for watching.